I wanted to take a break from my alterations to show you my closet and tell you a little bit about the fiasco that it was painting it. But first, look at this. I'm wearing one of the dresses that I altered in my last video? No, the video before, which is great because this thing sat in my closet for a good 2 years before I altered it, and now I've worn it at least 3 times. So I think altering it was probably the right choice. Who would have thought? Anyway, let me show you the closet. Okay, so here she is. She looks a little more bright purple on camera than she does in person. Definitely more of a muted mauve, we can call her. As you can see, I also added a mirror my mom very kindly gave me. I was going to go look at a thrift store, but I was talking to my mom about it and she said that she had one that she didn't really like anyway, so I have a new mirror in here, which is great. And it looks so good with like the dresser and everything like that and all my necklaces. So very happy with how it turned out. Let me sit down and tell you about the fiasco part. I don't know if you could tell, but there are 2 shelves in there with the clothing hangers attached to them. And we have had a leak near that area of the house before. And so what we think happened is that the drywall must have expanded at some point during that process, because while we were trying to take them out, we ended up gouging the walls because the shelving fit so perfectly inside the closet. I think it must have had a little bit of wiggle room before, but it didn't once the walls expanded. And so made some pretty bad gouge marks trying to get them out. But no worries there. Filled it, painted it. It was all fine. Fast forward to putting the closet back together. Me, being presumptuous and kind of stupid sometimes, thought that, oh, we can just slide them back into place, completely ignoring the fact that it gouged the walls on the way out. I don't know what I thought, that it was going to be different this time around. Guess what? It wasn't. And so I had to refill and repaint those areas. And we don't own any power tools, but luckily we have a family friend who lives just down the road and he has a bunch of saws and whatnot in his garage. And so it was about 34, 35 degrees. And so we carted 2 very large shelves down the road in very hot weather, in very bright sunshine. And he was nice enough to cut them down for us. So when we got back, they slid in perfectly, didn't have to repaint a 3rd time, which was fantastic. I also had a bit of an existential crisis after I put the first coat on, because I like soft orangish yellow lighting in the house rather than harsh white stuff. All of the light bulbs are kind of yellowy, kind of orange, which you probably see in my videos. And the closet is no different. It also doesn't have a window, so it's a bit darker in there. Anyway, the paint sample looked so much different than the first coat of paint, which it always does, I know this, but I was having a little bit of a crisis because I was like, oh no, it's too close to the purple in my office. It's not as dark as I hoped it would be. And I finished the first coat at like 9 p.m. on Friday night, and I was like, should I go down to the store? Should I get a darker color? Because I had been deciding between those 2, like I showed you the previous video. Hi, Franklin. There was a lighter purple and a darker purple. I did decide on the lighter purple, and so when I was having this crisis, I was thinking, should I drive down to Home Depot? They're open for another like 20 minutes or something. And I decided, no, I'm not going to be hasty. I'm going to sleep on it. But I was thinking about it so much that I dreamed about it. I dreamed about which paint color I should use. I didn't get any answers in the dream, but when I woke up, I was like, you know what? I don't want to drive down to Home Depot. I don't want to buy another can of paint where I probably have to do another 2 coats rather than just the 1 coat. And so I ended up doing the 2nd coat. It was fine. It looks great. And no one but me cares that it's a similar shade of purple to my office. So a lot of worrying, a lot of struggling for nothing because the closet looks great. However, I am never going to paint it again. Let me be very clear about that. That was such a task, getting all of the clothing and everything out, and then dealing with the shelving situation. At least now I know that they fit, and if I do ever have to take them out again, hopefully I don't, I know that they'll go back in perfectly fine. And you might be like, oh my gosh, Catherine, are you done painting yet? Guess what? The answer is no. I want to paint our front door a really nice burgundy color, maybe a bit more red, we'll see. I also really want to paint the kitchen cabinets still, but I've changed my mind about what shade the bottom part is going to be, and I've changed it pretty drastically. But yeah, I'm going to show you that. Let's go look at those paint samples real quick. Please ignore the mess on the counter. We're not going to look at that. We're going to look at these. So this is a very drastic change from what I was thinking before, which was a lot of light mossy greens. Now you can see it is, well, I'm still fighting for those, but possibly one of these browns. When I got these samples and I put them up, what I was first drawn to was, hold on, let me look. I think it was this one, which is called Chocolate Therapy. And my mom really liked this one, which is called Baronial Brown. And you'll see on camera, they are very dark, but in the light, you can't really see it. That's okay. They are lighter than they look, but they are still very dark. But what I really would love is something like this, a very dark burgundy. Or I'm kind of leaning toward one of these warmer browns as well. This is the one that I keep looking at. So it's gonna be a toss up between this one, and this one. I don't know what changed. You know what the problem was, is that I had those green samples up for so long and I went through so many of them. Like I was constantly adding more and taking others away. And I just couldn't find a green that really spoke to me. All of them were kind of like, I don't know. And I think they were also all a little bit too pale. Plus, there's so much green in this house. We don't really need more green. And I kind of want some sort of dramatic centerpiece. So I'm thinking burgundy or brown. We'll see. And as you can see, oh gosh, I'm also thinking of repainting this wall, which I realize I just did it. It is a beautiful yellow. It's actually lighter in person than it is on camera. And with all of the rich colors in the house, it just feels really washed out. And I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. I might keep it, I might not. I think the thing is, I need to paint these cabinets before I can decide whether this yellow works or not. The problem right now is the cabinets are gray, and A, I don't really like gray cabinets, not in my house at least. And B, this yellow really does not look good with the gray of the cabinets. And so I need to choose a color for the cabinets before I can decide if I'm going to repaint this wall. It's a whole process, but first the front door is being painted. And that's a burgundy color. I won't show you it. It was actually very similar to one of the ones on the cabinet as well. But rest assured, I'll show you when it's done. I feel like my channel has turned into, and I don't mean this to be this way, it has turned into me painting my house, me showing you paint samples that I might use in my house, me repainting my house. Oh my gosh. My cat just fell off the bookshelf. Or showing you the mass amounts of fabric that I buy and then have not made stuff with, which I will be. I know you saw me doing alterations, but I actually am going to make stuff. I found some really good fabric today, which I think I'll show you a bit later. But I really do need to get back to alterations and sewing things because I have so much that I want to work on, and with those migraines last week, I just didn't do it. Now, while those are in the oven, I wanted to show you some of the fabric I've bought recently. I have already cut this one up because I know exactly what I want to do with it. I knew as soon as I found it in the store, actually. Because I have this dress. I'm sure you've seen me wear it on camera because it is one of my favorite dresses. And I have always wanted this dress in every single color imaginable, especially in a blue and green plaid. And so when I found this, I was obviously extremely excited about that. Full disclosure, it is a bed sheet. I found it in the bed sheet section. It is flannel, so it's not a summer dress. It's definitely a fall and winter dress. But that's okay because I can wear it through a couple of seasons at least. It's not going to have, hold on. I'm not certain you'll be able to see, but it looks like the front, just the whole top of this dress was actually a bunch of very thin strips of fabric sewn together. And I have the time to do that, but I don't really want to, and so I'm not going to do that. It'll just be one solid piece at the top, but it'll have the same neckline, armholes, whatever. So it'll be a very similar dress, if not the exact same. Next we have this beautiful brown silky fabric. I don't actually know what kind of fabric it is, but it is smooth on one side and kind of rough on the other. I have been really into brown recently. I never really liked brown before as like a clothing color or anything like that, but I don't know what changed. All of a sudden I want brown everything. And I imagined this as some sort of calf length skirt, maybe with a slit going up the side. Part of me wants to do a very fitted boat neck dress with this. Very specific, I know, but I don't know if I want to do that actually. It's just something that popped into my head when I saw this fabric. So we'll see. I have other things to work on first, but I am glad I got this. These next two fabrics, I have no plans for them other than that they could be some sort of skirt or dress. I really don't know yet. First we have this white silky fabric with what I believe is called damask print on it. It's very beautiful in person. I don't know if you can see the pattern on camera or not. And then this wonderful rosy pink soft silky fabric with another pattern, not damask but flowers and whatnot. And this one has this wonderful scalloped edge. Both of these, this one and this one, I believe were tablecloths at one point. At least this one was in the tablecloth section. This was just in the linens, which I'm not really sure why it was there. They're both quite big. I'm not going to unfold them because I don't want to refold them again. But I think they would look really nice as a skirt or a dress. What kind of dress? I have no idea. I have to look at Pinterest to get some ideas, but that's not what I'm worrying about right now. Because what I really want to work on, other than that dress I've already cut up, is this, which I'm turning into a skirt. And I told you last video I was going to make a mini skirt with a zipper up the front with that, what is it, pink and tan. I think I called it brocade, but I think it's actually damask as well. But when I was in the store, I found this. It's beautiful. It's like almost like upholstery fabric, but it's a little less stiff. And it is a subtle plaid, more so stripes. But I was thinking like, oh my gosh, this would make a fantastic mini skirt. And I found the perfect zipper for it when I was in Fabricland as well. This is exactly what I was thinking of for the other skirt, but I just couldn't find the right background color that I wanted. It is way too long. I'm gonna have to cut it, but that's okay. And this one I will unfold because I'll show you. When I got it home and unwound it, I don't know if you can see, it's basically already the perfect length to turn into a mini skirt. I just need to hem it and roll over the top, add the zipper, add some darts, and then she is good to go. Obviously I have to cut her down because she would be very wide if this was the entire skirt, but it feels like it's already partially done for me, that it is basically the exact length I imagined it to be. Sitting down very quick for this next bit. So on a whim, very late one night last week, I applied to this job in the school district because if you don't know, I am a certified teacher. I just don't teach. I applied because it's 0.15 time, and in my head that's less than a day of work a week because I think 0.2 is a full day in the school district. Anyway, doesn't matter. And I actually got called back yesterday for an interview, and so I have an interview tomorrow, which is Thursday morning, and I am super nervous because I haven't interviewed for anything for a very long time, at least a couple of years now, a few years actually. And I think I just have lingering anxiety about working in the district as a whole. I don't really know why. Nothing really bad happened when I was working in it before. It was just a lot of stress. And I think that might be what it is I'm just remembering how stressful it was before. But that was a full-time job, and I was also a teacher of like a classroom. And this one is going to be one-on-one or like small group stuff, if I get it. But yeah, I have a really hard time existing as a human when I have something coming up that is making me anxious. So today is a lot of me. So I feel like today is going to be a lot of me just trying to forget that I have an interview in the morning and just have a nice day regardless. I did finally start working on my novel again last night after not looking at it for a couple weeks. I don't know what it is about summer, because it's busy, because it's hot, because I'm doing so many other things. I think I just don't write, which is too bad because I love writing. And so I think that once those lemon bars are done, I will spend a lot of the day writing. I could be doing sewing. I'll probably do some sewing, but I feel like writing is the priority today. But yeah, I wanted to come on and talk about the job because honestly, by the time I'm editing this, I'll know whether or not I got the job, and even just talking about it on camera is super helpful for me because it gets it out of my brain and into the room as a whole. Anyway, the timer just went for the lemon bars. I need to go take those out before they burn.